is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Kudos to the fans.
We knew we could always count on those guys to show up and make it an unbelievable atmosphere.
Our fans are so passionate about our team.
He caught it. He caught that ball. That's a touchdown.
3 at the buzzer. Whether it be at the Jane or at PK Park or Autzen or MKA or wherever, boy, did they come strong.
You're a fan of the Ducks. I mean, you need to get involved with that deal.
Top of the arc, 3, 10! It's one a ton toward the flag. God!
You can just see it in the way they cheer and the way that they get into the game.
Probably tells you how special Oregon is.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck athletics.
Fall camp starts today. The Ducks are on the practice field for the first time after getting everyone back to campus, going through the off-season conditioning program. Media days the last couple days. Oregon on the practice field today to begin fall camp. And head coach Dan Lanning, we heard a lot from Coach Lanning over the last 2 days. We'll have a number of student athletes for you today. And our sideline reporter, Dusty Harrah, is going to check in his thoughts from media day, getting ready for fall camp. Dusty's going to be with us here coming up in a bit. Whoa. Today, I'm just so excited. You know what it is? Guys, it's bucket hat season. The bucket hats are back. Anytime you walk around fall camp, I'm telling you, you're going to see some bucket hats out and about. It is bucket hat season. Jorgie, I know you're listening. And yes, I have my sunscreen. Thank you for your concern, Mike Jorgensen. Thank you. We're going to hear from Dusty Harrah Jr. today. He was in the Country Financial Studio. We've got a number of those interviews still coming your way. Going to chat with Dante Moore, Brandon Finney, some news around Oregon women's golf as well. And I mentioned Dusty Harrah going to be joining us. We'll see what he thinks. Dusty also has a new haircut that got compliments and comments. It was nice. We asked a number of Oregon football players who has the best hair on the roster. Might have to start asking who's got the best hair on the broadcast team. Dusty Harrah Jr. got this question. Let's chat with the Oregon running back. I think you'll like what he had to say about his growth here heading into year 2 in the Oregon offense. Dusty Harrah Jr. here in the Country Financial Studio. Dusty Harrah Jr. is in the Country Financial Studio. Okay, I have to start with something that I hope you'll find fun. I've collected some lighthearted questions from folks, and one of them, I'll just start off the bat. We're going to hold our tradition for later. We have a tradition. You have to do something in a moment. But okay. I have been asking everybody who has the best hair on the Oregon football team. This was a question. I collected some questions from some kids that did some interviews here, and they wanted to know who has the best hair on the Oregon football team. So I'm going to start with that question for you.
Okay.
But I'm also going to tell you that one of your teammates said you.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Who was
Brandon
it?
Finney.
B. Finney?
Yeah. Brandon Finney Jr. was like, Dier's got, Dier.
I appreciate that.
I didn't know if he said it just because he knew you were coming in after him, but
what a coincidence.
He told you. He said Dusty Harrah. He said it. So who you got? You can say yourself.
I would be up there, but I would probably say Mateo.
Mateo
has really good hair too.
That's number 2 for Mateo.
Yeah, Mateo has some good hair.
Tommy's gotten 2 mentions as well.
Tommy Topi, him as well.
Yeah, and then Poncho's gotten 1.
Yeah, the Polys.
Yeah,
I love the Polys.
So which leads me to, and I think you'll have a unique perspective on this. Which position group has collectively the best hair?
Ooh, collectively. I might be a little biased, but I'm going to say the
running backs. Okay. See, I wondered if after we talked about like Poncho, Tommy, like maybe you'd go O-line. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. But there you go.
I had to be a little biased.
Running backs. I get it. Maybe it's running backs and then, like 1A for running backs, 1B maybe O-line.
Yeah.
You got to run behind them.
Give them some credit. Got to.
I understand. All right, now we have a tradition. Okay, so you have to tell your 2-minute life story. The goal is to get as close to 2 minutes as possible. Okay. There's a leaderboard. We're hoping that you're going to end up in the top 5. So far, nobody's gotten in the top 5 all time. We've been doing this for like 13, 14 years now. Okay, so the 2-minute life story of Dusty Harrah Jr.
2-minute life story of
You ready?
Hill. Okay, great.
As close to 2 minutes as possible. On your mark, get set, go.
From Centralia, Illinois, small kid, small town. Grew up moving house to house, sometimes things got rough with my parents. I had to live with my grandma. Me and my mom did at the time. Growing up, always played sports. I went to high school. I had to transfer out. I didn't go to my hometown high school. I went an hour and a half away to St. Louis, Missouri, to Vashon High School. Did great for 2 years there, enjoyed my time, and then I went back to my hometown, not my hometown, my home state, Illinois, and finished up at Althoff Catholic. It went great. A lot of memories. AAU basketball, you got football, track. I even played baseball in middle school. Yeah, it was just a lot. Junior and senior year was probably one of my favorite years of my life so far. Just really the biggest was Gatorade Player of the Year both years. It was amazing. It's truly a blessing. Thank God for every opportunity. And yeah, that's really me.
Minute 3.95. Good work. Good work. Now, I'm telling you, after multiple years in the NFL, it's going to be hard to fit it into 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's how this goes.
Right.
That's how this goes. You talked about your family, though. I always like to ask. Part of why I do this is, like, I can read your bio. You're proud of being the State Player of the Year multiple times. Bravo, bravo. But also, you're proud of your family, it sounds like, aren't you? That's pretty special for you.
Yeah, it is.
Tell us a little bit about your family. Why are they so special to you?
My family's so special because they raised me on who I am today. Big shout out to my mother. She's a strong woman. There's a lot of things that I wanted in life as a kid, and she might have not had it, but she made it happen for me. I have younger siblings, so she's always made a way for us. My father's in the life as well, but he has some hiccups and stuff like that too. But he's good. He's stable now, and he's cheering us on, and he's helping my mom. So it's just really great. I really love my family. My siblings and little brothers and my little sister, they look up to me. I really do it for them. I try to leave a great example and show them that we can do it because we're from a very, very small town. Even for the kids back at my small town and just in the whole area, just uplifting everybody. I really love doing that. I just feel like that's my calling. I have a platform, and God has blessed me to have that platform, so it's only right to give back. And even if that's just knowledge at the time now, it's something, and I feel like people can take it in, and, I can just keep giving that lovely word that God has gave me.
That's cool. Just to hear you talk about the passion of giving back to your community. And I'm curious for that connection, too, with sports. Like, you mentioned how many sports you played. Like, you're a competitive guy growing up, but where'd that competitiveness and that love maybe for sports come from?
Honestly, it really came from my parents. I'm like I said, I'm very blessed. I'm truly blessed. My parents might have not did it how it's standardly supposed to be done, but life happens, and I'm so grateful that I'm here because they had me at a young age, had me in high school, so they were kind of in their prime, and they were both athletes, so it was crazy. They played a lot of sports as well. And had that little hiccup, but in those situations, a lot of people can, that kid probably couldn't be here, but I was blessed enough to, my parents made that decision to keep me, and look how it turned out, So it's just really a blessing to be here, and it's really my parents though. Yeah. They were dog athletes, stud athletes.
Who's the best athlete in the family? It's okay if you say you. Like,
I wanted to be biased.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's like I said with the hair. There's a theme here, Tierra. There's a theme, right?
But if I didn't say myself, I would definitely say my big cousin, Javon Williams Jr.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, he was a big role model for me growing up, and he was a stud athlete too, killing the sports and stats and stuff like that, just excelling in it. But I'd definitely say my big cousin if it wasn't me.
All right, Deer Hill Jr. with us. Okay. Zoom out now. We've had some fun talking about the hair, but now how about going through the second fall camp for you? What advice would you give last year to yourself if you could go back in time and give yourself advice before your first camp?
D, just relax. You got it. Trust your preparation and let God do the rest.
All right. This year, what do you want to get out of fall camp?
This year, I want to get out of fall camp is showing that I can help the team tremendously, and not just first or second downs, third and fourth downs too, special teams, any aspect, just going out there trying to become a leader by example, and if I do say things, I am vocal as well, just making sure the things I say, I'm out there doing it as well, not just saying it, because no one's going to follow you if you're not even putting in that work or you're not doing it. So,
sure. Tell us about the running back room, both on the field and off the field. What's the running back group like?
On the field, we have a tremendous work ethic. Guys are hungry. We're all hungry. We all love each other and help each other on the field, and it's great. We have a great connection. I feel like we're very connected. Off the field, we're very, very goofy, very goofy, childish, funny, just whatever you name. I mean, we all have different personalities, but everyone is unique in their own way. It's really great. On and off the field, it's a great time. It is, and I love that. I love about our room is that we can have fun, but then also flip that switch and be dialed in to our task and what we have to do. Cool. So it's very great. We have a great room.
Okay, so on similar line of thinking, at one of our other should we say off the cuff questions, what's your cheat meal?
Ooh.
I won't tell the nutrition staff.
What is my cheat meal? I don't want to give it away.
Okay. No, that's good. You can plead the fifth. Plead the fifth. It's fine. No, we'll ask you again like junior year. How about that?
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah. See if it changes. But I promise I won't tell the nutrition staff. It's only a public interview that everyone will be able to find on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. But no, I won't tell the nutrition staff.
Okay, I can. It's not crazy. I don't eat it a lot, but I would say McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's not that fast food is not good for you.
I get it.
The cheat meal, go McDonald's.
I get it. Look, I mean, burgers, chicken sandwiches, shakes have come up a lot.
The shakes,
see, like
the pies.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I get it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave you with this, De'Aaron. I know today, seriously, I know that the media day, the start of camp, it's a gauntlet, so we appreciate you taking the time.
Of course.
And with that in mind, in about a month, fans are going to be back at Autzen Stadium with y'all. What's one thing you want fans to know before they're back at Autzen with y'all again?
One thing I want fans to know that I really feel, I just really naturally feel this. Oregon is a great place. I just feel like I want them to know that we are working and we want that ending goal. And I mean, they know that too. So it's like kind of hard to say what I want them. I mean, we have great fans. We have the best, if you ask me. I mean, they really already know. It just just keep trusting that process and stay with our head driven down to just keep working. We're gonna reach that goal, and I feel like our fans know that.
De'Aaron Hill Jr., well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Really awesome to have De'Aaron in the Country Financial studio, and I loved what he said about just being a more versatile back, right? Like everybody wants to be on the field all the time, and that's what he's gonna hopefully be able to do more and more of here moving forward. Timeout. We got Dusty Harrah coming up. Who's got the best hair? Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Looks like summer fun's still going at Toyota's National Sales Event.
Event ends August 31st. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
At Toyota's National Sales Event, turn your end of summer scaries into end of summer woes.
Whoa!
Whoa! Choose a Tundra, 4Runner, or an all-electric BZ.
Event ends August 31st. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Snakes, zombies, sharks, heights, speaking in public. The list of fears is endless. But while you're clutching your blanket in the dark, wondering if that sound in the hall was actually a footstep, the real danger is in your hand, when you're behind the wheel. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Stuck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Dusty Harrah is coming up in just a moment. First, I want to get into a little bit with Dante Moore, the Oregon football quarterback. Let's jump in. See what Dante thinks about being the cover athlete of a video game. Dante Moore.
You talked earlier about making the decision to come back. I'm curious, have there been a moment or two since making that decision where it's kind of felt like the realization that you made the right decision and really comfortable with that decision you made?
Yeah, there's no going back now. Yeah, I kind of felt when I made a decision, there were some days where I thought about that, was it the right decision? But it's been months now, and we put in so much this off season and making sure we're getting our bodies right, preparing for this season. So I'm excited for this upcoming year.
How crazy was it for you to be in Tokyo, Japan, and look up at that billboard and see your face all halfway across the world?
Yeah, it's a blessing. Of course, thank you to, Nike, Division Street, everybody that helped, plan that trip. And thank you to the community of Tokyo for, accepting us. It was great. I never thought ever in my life I would be in Tokyo, but especially in Shibuya Crossing. I mean, being able to look up there with my teammates and, they'd be happy for me, but just seeing my face, across the boards it's a great feeling. But at the end of the day, I want more of that in the future, so I got to make sure I put the work in and just handle business.
Dan just talked about how dynamic Jamari is as a player and how he can help you this year. What are some of the things that you've seen from him and some of his traits that give you confidence he can be that next tight end in line?
Yeah, I say his preparation. This year he's taken, prehab, rehab, everything before, even the game of football more serious. He learned a lot from Kenyon. Kenyon used to get to the facility at 4:45 in the morning, hot tub, stretching. And he's done the same thing with just learning his routine. Not saying he has to play like Kenyon, because at the end of the day, you're yourself, but just picking up those habits, just learning from the players that, have done something in our lives that we want to do, go first round, get drafted. So he's done a great job. Most important I love about him is he's a jokester. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard recently what's happened. But he's a great dude. I love him to death, and I'm happy for, these upcoming days.
Your third year here now. I'm curious on where do you feel you've grown and maybe changed as a person and as a player now?
Yeah, I'll start as a person. I feel like I connected with, I've been connecting with Earth way more better. Eugene, trees, forest, hikes, just this world that God has blessed me with. Just being able to really appreciate that. Just more, get to learn myself more as a man in this community. Just be around the great people of the city of Eugene. And then as a football player, I'll say just being a leader, being able to rally the troops, make sure we, handle every task that needs to get handled. But overall, I feel like, I got more learning to do this off season and these upcoming days.
This is your second season, kind of being able to throw to some wide receivers like DeCorian Moore and J-Mac. Just how has your connection been able to grow with them throughout the off season? And how much stronger have you seen their game get from this time last year until now? Yeah,
they're very talented. The receivers, they put so much work in. Our trust has gotten way better. Recently, we were in the ocean together. Me and the receivers swimming with these, with the waves, and they didn't believe me at first. They go, hey, go in the water, have a good time, and then they trusted me with that. So our trust level was way up there. So that's a great thing. And then as a player, the game of football, they've been doing it since they were 4 or 5 years old. They're very talented. But at the end of the day, they're enjoying the process. A lot of them are young. A lot of them are, old as well. So all of us coming together to make sure, we keep that same goal in our mind and go attack it.
Dante, when Marcus Mariota returned, he returned with a veteran offensive line that he played with for several years. Same with Herbert in 2019 when he came back. You lost 3 starters, but Dan Lanning has talked glowingly about some of the young guys on this offensive line. How do you feel about it in terms of their ability to help you get to another level?
Yeah, it starts with Coach Terry. Coach Terry has done a great job producing linemen and coaching them. Of course, you have Pancho, of course, that came back. He's doing a great job just molding everybody as an O-line. At the end of the day, we got some guys that came in I mean, at the end of the day, we're working in the weight room, putting on some muscle out there. And then at the end of the day, Coach Terry's just doing a great job with the playbook, making sure they're staying with the right technique, with certain things. But overall, I'm not worried at all. We have so much more time of practice and getting reps in with each other. And I'm going to for sure feel confident game one.
Hi, Dante. Can you finish the sentence for me?
Uh-oh.
The coolest part about playing for Oregon football is?
The fans.
And the toughest player on the team?
Toughest player? Ooh. I'm going to go Bear Alexander.
How does the eventful summer you have, what did you learn from it? And in the season, when all the chaos is going on, do you ever reflect on the summer and kind of wish things were calm again?
Yeah, I had the most busiest summer of my life, for sure. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's the off season. You're supposed to enjoy it. And when it's time to lock in, like currently right now, fall camp, it's time to lock in. So at the end of the day, I did things that I'm going to remember for many years. The memories I created with my teammates, the World Cups, the Tokyo, Zach Bryan. I mean, there's so many things that have happened. And at the end of the day, I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to do that.
He has been very busy, one Dante Moore. He touched there on being on stage at a concert. We're going to find out when Dusty the Harrah was last on stage at a concert when we come back. Oregon football sideline reporter joining us. More from Dante Moore as fall camp begins today on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Winning doesn't happen by accident. It takes a playbook, one that works when the pressure's on. For 35 years, Morgan & Morgan has been that playbook for the injured, recovering more than $35 billion for our clients. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics, because in football and in the courtroom, the right playbook gets results. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember, back to the land of my first love. Would you spread wide your arms for this wayward son? I left my heart in Oregon.
I know he always leaves his heart in Oregon. Dusty Harrah joins us all the way from Portland. Dusty was here for Media Day. He'll be down often throughout fall camp. And as we get things rolling for fall camp today, I said, Dusty, I'm going to need the preview before you get back on the sidelines, find out what happened over the summer. And we've been asking every Oregon football player who has the best hair on the team. And I think we know who has the best hair on the broadcast crew. Take the hat off. Take the hat off for everybody. Look at this hair, everybody. Yes!
It's long. It is long. I have long hair. This is the longest my hair has ever been. I kind of have a mullet going on. I got to cover it back up, contain it. Look, it's off-season hair. Everybody goes through, I just got done at Media Day listening to guys talk about I had to change my body. I had to work out, change the diet. Look, I just went with the hair. It was the easiest way to go about it. Just not getting a haircut. That was a lot easier than a diet or exercise. So I decided that was my big change for this year, and it'll probably be cut.
Well, meanwhile, I started the show by reminding everybody that it's bucket hat season. Around fall camp, you're always going to have a lot of bucket hats, so we're going to unfortunately be covering up the hair. But Dusty the Harrah joins us before he's back on the Toyota sidelines this year. Okay, hey, number one takeaway for you from Media Day. I think we all have these like preconceptions of what the themes of a Media Day are going to be as you start a season. What was your preconception, and what was ultimately your takeaway from talking with all the guys on Monday?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, the takeaway that I had is that the expectations of this team really haven't changed. The messaging has been consistent from year one under Coach Lanning to where they are right now in year 5. And there's a lot that can change over time, right? And the heaps of expectations that keep getting piled on after year of success and taking this next step forward, you talk to the players, and it really is, their expectations have always been high, and their confidence has always been high in what they can do and what they can achieve. And that is a really good thing in my eyes as this team moves forward, is that no, it's just it's another season of living up to what they do, and they say day by day, and you see they buy into that. I mean, they know exactly what it is. There's that, and then holy smokes, these guys are enormous. I mean, you take a look around and you're like, this team is built differently than teams of Oregon past, teams that we see week to week. They are enormous human beings, and that is really fun to kind of see how that commitment to Coach Love in the off season in the weight room, how quickly it can change, man. Because you got guys that have put on a bunch of muscle, guys that have leaned out. I mean, this is a very imposing team physically.
One of those guys that we'll hear from coming up on the show this week or next, Nasir Wyatt. I mean, he said he gained like 25 pounds, right? You talk about guys changing their bodies, and that can happen over the course of time developing. I think there's always such a focus on who the new guys are, whether it be transfers or freshmen as we begin a fall camp. But sometimes, Dusty, those development guys can be really critical.
Yeah, and we've seen so many guys develop over this time. Like, I was just going back and looking at the roster, and just when you look at, everybody talks about the guys who came back, right, for one more run, especially on the defensive line with, Mateo, Tatum, Amari, all coming back for one more run. But you look at that linebacker position too, where you have, both Jerry Mixon Jr. and Devin Jackson. Those guys are fourth-year seniors, fifth-year seniors that have been at Oregon and only Oregon the entire time. And like in this era of college football, those guys are like unicorns. And there's a bunch of them littered across this roster of 4-year, 5-year guys that have been in the Oregon system and stayed at Oregon. And I think that says a lot about what the coaching staff and the players have built within those walls, because you're seeing it fewer and further between, especially at elite programs, that these guys are sticking around for that long. But in that, you kind of see the role players. You go from a role player into a guy who's a key cog in the wheel, right? Not everybody's going to be the 4-year starter and start their freshman year. It's the guys who wait their turn and then they pop. And that is something that's really cool to see, especially as you look up and down the roster of not just the seniors, but the juniors as well. Guys that have stuck around and guys that have earned their spot in that rotation. And look, there's nothing more valuable than experience when you are a role player or a guy who is not the big playmaker every single play, right? If you are a rotational player or you are a guy who plays a specific role on a team, that experience and knowing the system, year one, it's like you're swimming. Year two, you're getting your feet underneath you. Year three, all of a sudden you're mastering what's in front of you from the playbook, and then just the ability to see so many different looks and from so many different styles of whether it's teams or guys that you're going up against every day in practice. That experience has been huge, and it's all over the field.
Dusty Harrah joining us from Portland, talking Oregon football before he's back on the sidelines with us again, coming up against Boise State. From his office at our flagship affiliate in Portland, 105.1 The Fan, which has some more decoration on the wall these days. Let's go, Dusty.
It does. It does. This was a gift from my mother-in-law for Christmas after the Ohio State win in 2024. And you can find certain people there. I found myself getting away from the mass of humanity that took over the field. We even found the reader board on the big scoreboard, underneath the big scoreboard there. It was actually at the moment of that picture, our station logo was up on there. So
yes,
the office right now. And then the newest addition is I coached my son's little league team, so we got the little league team picture right there.
That's right. That's right.
It's the important things.
It is
the big win over Ohio State, and then the Aloha Oregon tournament win. So that's where the decorations are coming.
Look, I'm proud of you. We were critical a year ago at this time of the walls. And I'm really proud of you. I think we can add more, though. I think we can get more this year.
Look, make no mistake, the camera is tilted this way because those are the only things that I have on my wall.
I mean, not every wall can be as busy as the studio here in Eugene. Like, the Country Financial Studio is the truest definition of it is like the garage man cave that we all want around the Oregon community. Yeah, we continue with Dusty Harrah. You are what I refer to as our Portland connection, right? I am guilty of this, right? I'm in the bubble of Eugene, in the bubble of the University of Oregon, and sure, the algorithms are what they are, and we all get the same. But you're talking to fans around Portland all the time. And the guys at 105.1 are always talking to the fans of the fan, if you will, Dusty. Like, what's the buzz in Portland for this team heading into fall camp?
There's just a lot of excitement. There's excitement over how much talent is returning, how much talent is coming in, whether that is the recruiting classes that have kind of stacked on top of each other. And you start seeing names that are popping up as the summer has gone on, and everybody's getting, whether it's their Phil Steele magazine or they're, reading all of the updates that from all the websites out there previewing a season. You're like, oh yeah, this guy, he redshirted last year, or he's coming down the pipeline and developing, and the guys are growing, whether it's, and then you hear, players at Media Day talking about some of their teammates that have impressed them. There's a lot of excitement about the known and then the unknown of this season. And taking a look at the schedule, there's big games littered across, whether it is, we can look ahead because this is what we do, right, Joey, is we always look ahead. But, fans are looking ahead to trips to Columbus or Michigan coming in, the Washington game at the end of the year, coming back to Autzen Stadium, Boise State and Oklahoma State at the beginning of the year. Like, there's a lot of excitement just to get the ball out there and get this rolling because there's so much known about this team and there's so many things that are exciting to the fans. I think that is it. And especially when your quarterback is back for another year and Dante Moore, we look at the last few years, it's like, all right, it was Dylan Gabriel. And then it was, we don't know. There was a quarterback competition heading into last season. Now there's that known and that stability to go along with all the talent that's been brought in and developed, that they want to just see the games on the field. And that to me is the best part. And we are 1 month away today.
Yep.
And I'm glad you brought me on today because I couldn't go more than 1 month. My sicko brain that I have, it's 1 month from today. There's football, September 5th.
Well, Oregon football, 3 weeks from today, there's college football.
I know. I don't count 0 week. Just we need to make 0 week 1, and everybody starts playing because that brings me football sooner. And I get to be back in Autzen Stadium with all my favorite people.
I'm with you. Yeah, I had to go through and make our picks spreadsheet for this year. That was on my agenda this week. I finished it yesterday. Happy to report Jerry and Georgie, Dusty at times, the pick'em will return on Fridays. And we've got our first one. Yeah, we've got our first one coming up before 0 week. We're going to have a few Thursday games, week 1 around the Big Ten Conference. And then, yeah, we're back against Boise State at Autzen Stadium.
I got to be honest. I don't like when I get put on the spot and I'm there and I get looked at like I'm supposed to make the pick for somebody, because the people, if you watch this show regularly or you listen to this show regularly, you know that you, Jerry, and Georgie take this very seriously. And so does the coin. I get blamed for giving a bad pick. Like, I'll get the side eye. Side eye because it's like, yeah, great pick here. I'm like, I don't know.
Look, I just want to remind everybody that there was a year where the coin had a better correct pick percentage than Mike Jorgensen did. I should clarify, though, Georgie, I know I'm going to see you at practice later. Don't come up and punch me in the face.
He is.
There were quite a few guest pickers that year that helped the coin. So Dusty, you could be that guy that brings the coin to the podium.
Look, I will take that. I just don't like when I like Jerry or Georgie look at me for a pick and I help him and then I fail, right? Because I mean
you don't want to let him down. I understand.
I don't want to let him down.
I understand.
Don't want to do it.
But you can help me anytime as the 5-time Pick'em champion. Jerry's only.
You're just gonna go. You're gonna take a look at me and be like, "No, I'm gonna go against it."
I mean, the race is on this year. I won for the 5th time last year. Jerry's won 4 times. Georgie's won twice, and the coin's won 0 times.
All right, it's coin's year, man.
It's coin's year.
Coin's year.
Dusty Harrah will be with us every Wednesday throughout football season, always giving us the nitty-gritty from the sidelines on every broadcast. Dusty, it's always fun to see you. We'll see you coming up next week, huh?
Yeah, let's do it. I was sitting here like I'm ready. I'm ready for positional breakdown. I'm so ready for the season. It's glad to be back. It feels like we're back home again.
It does.
Except for I need to be in that chair.
Yeah, you do. It's a good chair. I don't have anything else to say.
I'll be back in the chair soon enough.
It's a good chair. We'll send you some office attire as well, office decorations. We love it. Dusty Harrah, he'll be roaming the Toyota sidelines again this year. Dusty, thank you, sir. The hair, don't cut it.
If you keep calling me the hair Harrah, I'm going to have to cut it.
Best hair on the football team, best hair on the broadcast crew. It's the theme of the week, I guess. Theme of the week. Timeout when we come back. Dante Moore, he got 3 votes from student athletes for best hair. We only polled like 10 student athletes. It's a pretty good rate. Dante Moore, next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills, we're more than just a country club. We're where family, fun, and connection come together. Enjoy our award-winning course, vibrant year-round events, and the warm camaraderie of fellow members. Our all-inclusive event spaces offer both indoor and outdoor settings, perfect for weddings, business events, holiday parties, and more. Whether you're in search of championship golf, lively social gatherings, or simply a welcoming community to call home, Shadow Hills is the place where you belong.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial.
Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Back to the Country Financial Studios in 60 seconds. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now, so good to see you real.
Doug Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here in the Country Financial Studio. My thanks to Dusty Harrah for joining us. We heard from Dusty Hill Jr. earlier. Now going to hear from Dante Moore. How many times are we all going to make that reference joke? I loved the campaign when the Ducks were in Tokyo. Just to all of our creative team that helped pull that off with there's more. Oh, it was so fun. I mean, so many connections, and what a great experience that was, as Dante Moore was discussing before we talked with Dusty. Let's return to the Oregon quarterback, Dante Moore. He and the Ducks are on the practice field this afternoon. First practice of fall camp this afternoon, as we are now exactly a month away from kickoff against Boise State at Autzen Stadium. Dante Moore, part 2 of his press conference.
About this year's offensive team, and what do you feel like the potential could be for this group of returners this season for you guys?
Yeah, coach manager. That's what I'm super excited about. Just trusting in his game plans. Coach Stein did one hell of a job here. Just make sure he pushed the herd and kept this offense how it was supposed to be, and hope he does great things at Kentucky. But yeah, with coach manager, I mean, he's a scientist. He's really smart. He's for sure really good at dissecting defenses and helping make sure we have the right play called. And at the end of the day, he's been coaching me very well, coaching the players. He was a tight ends coach. Now he's coaching the whole offense, so he's done a great job with that. So he's going to for sure be ready. And at the end of the day, there's going to be some bumps and bruises and things we have to learn. But at the end of the day, it's a game of football. You got to learn and adapt to it.
Dante, just looking at you right now compared to this time last year and where you are currently, just how much more comfortable you are up there, and seeing you at Big Ten Media Day, like running around, it just feels like you're so much more comfortable with where you're at. What do you think has led to that comfortability in your own skin, and how do you think that could be helpful out on the football field?
Yeah, it's just confidence. At the end of the day, all these interviews, all these questions, just a normal conversation. I talked to JJ and Tatum about that. It's just having a normal conversation. That kind of just feels like at the end of the day, you never want to put yourself in a bad position, so don't just say the wrong things. Got to tell JJ that a little bit more now, but it's okay. At the end of the day, it's confidence. I mean, the way I just prepare, the way I just been getting so much, so many reps when it comes to football, spring ball this past year. And I mean, at the end of the day, I just make sure I just keep pushing myself, and confidence is the biggest thing I reflect on.
You've talked about being a mindful person in general. I'm wondering how you try to remain mindful given the weight of expectations on the team, on yourself, and everything like that.
Yeah, pressure is a privilege. There's a lot of pressure on this team, but at the end of the day, we kind of put that pressure on ourselves. We've done a great job these past couple of years, and we've got to trust in our game plans and trust in Coach Lanning. Of course, we got to follow our leader, and he does a great job making sure he's preparing us. But at the end of the day, it's just going to keep being more and more pressure in my life. So got to embrace it and have it and just enjoy it.
Dante, you came in as a transfer and sat behind Dylan Gabriel and learned a lot from him. Talk about how that experience is helping you be the same leader for Dylan Raiola now that he's sitting as a transfer.
Yep. Of course, I loved Dylan Gabriel. He was somebody that when I first came in, we sat down and talked. And at the end of the day, I said, I'm not just going to come here and lay down. I'm going to make sure I push you in the weight room, on the field, anything we do. And he said the same thing to me. I ever thought I would be a second-string guy when I got here. I've always wanted to push, of course, and be the guy. But at the end of the day, when the roles get put out for the first game, you just got to respect it. And at the end of the day, I made sure that when it's game prep or whatever that Dylan needed, I made sure it was done for him. And then with this year, Dylan Raiola did the same thing. He just came in, we talked, and he's been pushing me on the field. If it's certain throws, if it's certain things we're doing in the weight room, certain, whatever. And he's been doing a great job. His weight, his speed, his intention to our playbook has been great. So at the end of the day, we've been pushing ourselves and make sure that we all want to get to that same goal and make sure we all attack it and never be, a cancer to the team.
Dan talked about how the team's using Shohei Ohtani's vision board, goal setting, the Harada method. What's your experience with it? What's your thoughts on it? Why is it effective for you and maybe for a team as well?
Yeah, the Harada method is great. It just lays out our format of things that we want to do this year. Coach Landon's always been a big write things out in his mirror, write things out on the board, and really speak into existence. And this year I've done the same thing. If it was just personal goals, but I feel like it's great that as a team we have that. For us, every day when we open our lockers, we see it there. Even if we walk in our team room, meeting, individual rooms, for us to know what our goals are and the things that help, around it, help us get there. So it's been great. Ohtani is probably going to be the greatest baseball player of all time. I mean, at the end of the day, what he's done. But yeah, we're just trying to learn from the greats and make sure we, be that team this year.
Yeah, De'Aaron and Jordan really broke out almost right away for you guys last season as freshmen. What are you expecting from those two guys heading into this season, and how they can improve upon their freshman seasons?
Yeah, Thunder and Lightning, they did great last year. They made sure that, this offseason they pushed each other. De'Aaron came up to me after the end of the year and said, when I came back, he was like, I'm going to get my protections right. Because De'Aaron, when he first came in, of course, had some problems because you're young, just about certain things, the college style, different protections. And in this spring ball and this offseason, he's done a phenomenal job. There's been times where I don't have to worry about my backside no more because I know he's getting there. So De'Aaron's done a great job, and JD has done an amazing job with his body, the way he's been pushing himself. We're always pushing each other at practice. But yeah, they've been doing a great job, and I'm excited for them this year.
You talked about the connection and the trust that you were able to build with your wide receivers. I was curious about the connection and the bond that you have with Evan and what it means to have him back.
Yeah, Evan, love him to death. He's somebody that probably had the greatest offseason I've ever seen. The way he just came in every day, early in the mornings, late nights, just pushing himself, pushing the team. Of course, his past year wasn't the year he wanted. And it's just that with that incident, I mean, it just made him love the team even more because at the end of the day, we all appreciated him for the support and things he did. But yeah, he's a really good bowler. I just found that out. We went bowling in L.A. He beat me twice. I didn't have my balls, though. They're in Eugene, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, we're going to go tonight, actually, and hope I get him this time. But overall, he's a great dude, great energy, loves dancing. Everybody sees his TikTok, so he's a great dude.
What was the process of decompressing the Peach Bowl loss, and kind of where do you think you learned from that? What's, I guess, your reaction just to thinking about that day again?
That day is in my past. I watched the film, learned from my mistakes, got to move on. Now, I don't take it as a loss, I take it as a lesson.
I was going to ask you about the Peach Bowl as well, but just from the same, so let me adjust on the fly.
Yeah.
But when you do look at that game, is there any piece of it that you have taken or that you have kept with you that you haven't flushed, that you are either using for motivation or that you are extra focused on learning from?
Yeah, I watched a lot about Fernando Mendoza. He's a ball player. He is someone I respect. I've been playing him since I was my freshman year at UCLA. Played against each other at Cal. I learned a lot from him, the way he's just so good at anticipating throws, confidence of throwing RPOs. So I just learned a lot from just watching the tape. And then at the end of the day, we just learned a lot as a team, just knowing that, the things we can't do in that certain game. Of course, a lot of things I did, ball in jeopardy. So just making sure that I just learn from that. But, yeah, watch them, make their plays and just learn from it.
If there's anyone who knows how talented this defense is going to be this season, it's probably you, just competing against them all spring. Just how will that competition between a really stacked offense and a really stacked defense kind of prepare you guys to make the run that you want to have this season?
Yeah, we're going to push each other at practice. This team, for sure, offense and defense, even special teams, is insane. But talent only takes you so far. So I kind of feel like at the end of the day, we have all this talent, but we're making sure we're putting the work in to help improve other areas as well. But Coach Landon's going to do a great job when we have competition periods, when we're going to have periods where we got to protect each other on the field. But at the end of the day, it's iron sharpened iron, and we're ready for it.
Dante, I know you've been getting more into golfing. This is kind of going to be a multifaceted question. I'm wondering this summer, what was the best game on the golf course you had? What was the worst game on the golf course that you had? And maybe are there any lessons you can take away from a sport that many consider one of the most frustrating sports in the entire world?
That's my favorite question. Yeah, golf. It's very, very intense. I had the chance to play Bandon Dunes for my birthday. Pacific Dunes, Old Mac, and Bandon. Pacific was my favorite. But yeah, golf is very, very tough. There's some days I can shoot 86 and some days where I shoot 120. So it's just the game. But as a quarterback, it's great. There's times where I'm on the course, on the range, and Marcus walks right next to me. We're talking ball. But it's just a way for me to just decompress, especially in Eugene, Oregon. I mean, Oregon in general, the nature here is, immaculate. So at the end of the day, it's just me being able to go out there and connect with Earth and be able to just ease my mind. There's times where I make a great shot and I keep coming back, and there's days where I just want to put the clubs up. But at the end of the day, it's fall camp time, so I'm dialed in, and it was great. And I can't wait to do it next time.
Dan said that he was studying teams this offseason that were good in rematches. I'm curious if you were part of that at all, and if you've learned or saw anything in those studies.
Yeah, Coach Lanoy does a great job just finding, just keys and details of certain things that will help us as a team. I wasn't a part of that with him and what he was doing, but it's just true. You guys got to find things from different teams. You never want to be too big-headed. You always want to learn from somebody. Indiana example did a great job last year. On Ohio State won, everybody copied that defense. So there's going to be a lot of things that happens with, change. That's how football works. But, yeah, I know Coach Lane. I'm trusting his game plan, and I'm excited for this year.
Dante Moore, the Oregon quarterback, at the podium getting ready for fall camp, which gets underway officially today. Media days, Monday, Tuesday, practice today. The Ducks will hit the field. I'm excited for – I think the first day of fall camp always has a very unique buzz and energy about it. Like Rob Mullins mentioned this yesterday, which really resonated with me, that like you can just feel the energy, right? And we're actually, I think, very fortunate where the studio is located in the Casanova Center. The Oregon soccer coaching staff is right across the hall from us, and they're in it. I mean, they're getting ready for their exhibition starting tonight and then over the weekend for the Ducks. And that exhibition season, that means they've been here. I mean, they're grinding. Student athletes are coming in and out, film sessions, right? And that's what this energy kind of feels like. If you see the volleyball staff, you see the volleyball student athletes over around Matthew Knight Arena, that's what's going on right now. You get this buildup toward what is going to be a really fun fall, I think, around the University of Oregon. Talk about some fun. How about a new face, but a familiar face on the Oregon women's golf coaching staff? Tell you about that next as we continue to preview fall camp on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working at our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
Duck Insider continues from the Country Financial Studios in 1 minute on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Getting messages as we welcome you back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I'm getting messages here in the Country Financial Studio from a few different people that are like, we're on day 3 of the show and we've already brought up picks. Like, of course we have. Dusty said it, like, we take this we don't take this very seriously. Like, in fact, I'm reminded that I don't think Jerry nor Georgie ever got in the ice bath. No, they didn't. Well, here's the thing, though. There's still time. I mean, fall camp, the ice bath is a common post-practice activity. So, Jerry, Georgie, we'll see you at practice today, huh, fellas? Yeah, I'm already getting texts about picks making the return. Oregon football fall camp officially starts today, and we are 1 month away from kickoff against Boise State. For the Oregon women's golf team, a familiar face is rejoining the staff. Head coach Derek Radley today announced the hiring of Monica Vaughn Fisher as the Ducks' assistant coach. Vaughn was Radley's assistant coach for his first 5 seasons in Eugene, helped lead the Ducks to the 2022 Pac-12 championship and a spot in the national championship match. She most recently worked for the Oregon Golf Association prior to returning to Derek Radley's coaching staff. Radley said, quote, "I couldn't be more excited to have Coach Mo back with me in Eugene. We started this together back in 2018, and we both feel like we have unfinished business together in our pursuit of a national championship. Coach Mo is an unbelievable person, coach, and golfer, and our student athletes are so fortunate to be able to learn from her. It feels like we're picking up right where we left off, and we are both ready to hit the ground running this season." So the band is back together, as we say. Radley named Vaughn his assistant coach shortly after being named head coach in June of 2018. The duo quickly turned the Ducks into a national power. I mean, just to give you an idea, 2017 individual national champion as a player, Monica Vaughn. She was also a member of the 2017 team champion. She was the Pac-12 Golfer of the Year in 2017, was a 3-time All-American. Now as a coach, 2022 NCAA runner-up finish, Pac-12 champions that year, 6 All-Americans that she's coached, and has 7 tournament wins under her belt as a coach. One of the very best that the Pac-12 had ever seen, and now that the Big Ten has ever seen as a coach. Monica Vaughn Fisher back joining the Oregon coaching staff. Very excited for Coach Mo, and I know that for Coach Radley, that's cool. Whenever there's an opening on a staff, when you can have that familiar face and it feels like you hit the ground running, just so much more momentum, I feel like, moving forward. And this is a team that multiple times has knocked on the door of a national championship. Players like Yara Romero rewriting the Oregon record book. That's fun. And golf, year-round sport. They're going to start their fall season here coming up very, very shortly. That's it for us today. I'm headed to the practice field. It's bucket hat season, everybody. Dan Lanning, post-practice today. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. It is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely.